Good evening, Satnam, Namaste for everybody. It's been a long while without uploading a video in English, so I might be a bit rusty. Even though I am an interpreter, a writer, and a teacher, it happens that when I am in front of the webcam, I may mistake some errors. I may make some mistakes. Oh my God, what's wrong with my English? So here I am to speak about holistic tarot. There is already an old video here on the YouTube channel where I explain the different decks and oracles that I use, but I have a lot more oracles. Every year I add more oracles and decks. I don't know why, but then there is somebody creating some awesome oracle and I need to have it, and I find a different use to each of them. So, and there is also a video for the Goddess Power by Colette Baron Reed, so you can check all these videos in my channel. There are not many videos on my YouTube channel in English, I must apologize for that, but there are not many followers who speak English. So if you subscribe to my channel and you leave a comment, I may share more videos in English too for you. So please let me know where you are from and what topics you are interested in. So we use holistic tarot as a toolkit for self-knowledge, for self-healing, and for our spiritual connection with the divine energy going through us. So sometimes we may feel lost, or we may feel like there is a fog around us and we cannot read the maps. So holistic tarot will help us read the maps and connect our bridges, our inner bridges between our emotions, our mind, our body, our energies, and also between our subconscious and our conscious mind. So with the use of symbols and different archetypes, we get to know what is going on in the shadow, like in those hidden places inside ourselves which do not reach very often, or we don't want to reach, or maybe we don't know what is going on inside us, which is blocking some energies or which is preventing us from moving forward. So let's go to the decks and to the oracles. So there are some decks which are in Spanish, but I translate them for you when we have a session. We can have a session by WhatsApp. It's very easy because you send me a message with all the information and your questions, and then I record the audios with all the explanation and the reading, and I send you some pictures with the reading so that you know what is going on. And then I always share some tools, some guided meditations, some music, some books which can help you to go through the process after the reading so that you can change those patterns or you can heal those wounds that still bother you. So let's go to the decks. So this is the first deck I had. If you have seen the other video, you will know about this. This is the angels cards. So we have the angels with different messages. These are in Spanish, but I can translate them for you. So you have different angels according to the elements, like air, water, fire, and earth. And then you have the 4 archangels. So they have keywords which you have to repeat twice a day during 7 days after the reading. And the messages are never the same, and the combinations are endless. So they will guide you and they will provide you light and inner wisdom to go through difficult times, or to enlighten your vision of what you need to do or what you need to choose. So this is very easy to use and very useful for the first reading you have of holistic tarot. Holistic tarot is like therapeutic, so it helps you heal. So it's good to start with something light, with something which can be smooth and gentle with you. Right now, while I'm recording this video, it's like I am between the 1st and the 2nd of April because it's past midnight. It's very late, but it's a quiet time to record here in the neighborhood. You may hear some dogs, but not so much noise. So We're going through some pandemic situation, and there is a lockdown in many countries. In my country here in Argentina, we have a lockdown, so there is a quarantine, and we cannot go out, we cannot work, but we can do some online sessions, and we can help you. We can help each other to go through these difficult times. So tarot can be very useful. But if we are going through these kind of times, which are difficult, tough, and we are all kind of lost, it's not advisable to work with, for example, the Egyptian tarot or the Marseillaise tarot, because then it's like we are going to deal too soon with our shadow, and we're with our wounds and maybe some trauma. So it's best to keep those decks for times which are easier or which run smoother, So at the beginning we start with something very simple and very soft and very gentle and very compassionate and very loving, so that we can connect again with our inner wisdom and with our inner light, and with our higher self, and with our angels, and with the divine energy living in our heart. So this is the angels. Then we have Susannah's deck. This is a very old deck. You can read about the story of this deck on my webpage. And this is a deck which I used to make a diagnosis the first time we have a reading. So it can tell you where you come from, something which is from the past but is still bothering you, or which things are affecting you in the present, and where you are going if you don't change or you don't heal what is affecting you from the past or what is affecting you in the present. So this is Susannah's deck. It has some childish drawings, but the messages are always very accurate, and these cards are very good for making a diagnosis. So then we're going to keep them in their bag, otherwise I'm going to have a mess here on my desk. Then we have Chakra Wisdom. I love these cards. Chakra Wisdom is a wisdom oracle guidebook and toolkit. So you have check this. I love it because it's like you have this person going through all the path, through the chakras. So you go from the very beginning up to the crown chakra. So you have chakras, cards for every chakra, and each card has a message, it has a keyword, it has a message, it has a story about the characters in the cards. And then you have a guided meditation to work with the chakra, and you may find which chakras are blocked according to certain aspects of your life, and which chakras need you to work with, to do some meditation and to find some balance. So this you can combine. For example, you can have a session with one deck or two decks or three decks. When we combine 2 or 3 decks, it becomes really interesting because we can approach different aspects of your life, and every deck has like its own approach, and we go deeper or not so deeper, depending on which deck we use. So this was Chakra Wisdom. Then we have, this is something like it is homemade because I still don't have the budget to afford printing these cards formally. This is Puentes card, Bridges. Bridges is the name of my project, my holistic project. So it has words, Apapacho is a Mexican word which means like to hold and to hug your soul. So you have words and verbs, you have nouns and verbs, things that you need to receive, to get or to give, and then things that you need to do. This is tenderness. Let's see if we see a verb here. We have to receive, to get, to open yourself to receiving. So we have different words, and you meditate with these words, and then you help build bridges which help you heal. When I talk about bridges, it's like a metaphor. We have inner bridges which help connect the different bodies, the emotions, the mind, the physical body, the spirit, and the soul. And then we have outside bridges, you know, the bridges that we build with relationships, either with business relationships or family relationships or romance relationships or friends or our children. So it's good to take care of our bridges. So these cards always let us know what bridges we need to repair or look after, or what things we need in our life. Either we need them to receive them or to give them to other people. So then we have White Sage Tarot. This is quite new. It is not in the previous video. I like it. It's very small. It's in a tin box and it's very practical to take everywhere. So these cards are very sweet and are very gentle, and they have like some tenderness on the drawings, you know. So you have animals. Let's see if we can see some animals here. Okay. Well, I'm not finding. This is the reverse. So you have some animals, and they are really sweet. So even though they come from traditional tarot, because they are sweet and because they are tender and because they approach the symbols with certain kind of smoothness, you know, you can go around about your ego, and your ego won't build up walls to protect itself, you know. So these cards work with the original tarot, but they are also related with the chakras. So you get the messages for the traditional tarot, but from a tender point of view, and then you have the chakras, which chakras are related to these cards. So they are very nice, and you generally pick 3 cards, and you can choose if you want to know about the past, the present, and the future. Or let me check here, if you want to check mind, body, and spirit, or if you want to check strength, struggles, and advice. So you can combine this with the other decks too, and the other oracles. Then we have Goddess Power. There is a complete video for this deck, for this oracle, because I got this from Hay House, and there is an unboxing and an explanation of this oracle. I like it because you can work with the feminine energies. So you have archetypes, and you have the energies of different goddesses, like Celtic goddesses, American goddesses. Then you have the Hindi goddesses, and some others. So you want to know which energies or which archetypes are related to different situations or aspects of your life. So it's very good to work with women or with men who want to connect with their feminine part, you know, who want to know about their intuition or their creative part, because we have both aspects, masculine and feminine, in our energies, and sometimes we need to boost one or the other. So these are beautiful cards. So they have messages and they have keywords, and you have the empowerment message, and then the alignment message, depending if it is reverse or it is in the right position. So this is Goddess Power. We can combine this deck with some other decks, or you can use them in only these decks in one session, to do a wide spread and to check all the energies which might be blocked. You know, sometimes we carry some wounds or some blocked energies since our childhood or when we were teenagers, so we need to check which energies. So you can have an intensive session with this deck, or you can have a combined session with other decks and this one. Then we have one deck which is in Spanish, but I love it and you are going to love it too, which is Mandalas, Jung, and Tarot. And it combines the traditional tarot with the the art therapy, because we work with mandalas. So these are the cards, they are beautiful, and you have the traditional symbols of tarot, but they are mandalas, as you can see. So we generally ask them what we need to heal regarding certain aspects or situations or relationships in our life. And once we read and we understand the story behind each card or mandala, and we work with the symbols and the colors, then you get a file with the mandala so that you can color it. And you try to color it several times until you let your emotions flow and you can connect with your subconscious, and you feel peace and you feel at ease after coloring the mandala. So after the session, you get the file to color it and to work with the mandalas. You can either work with these cards combined with others, or you can have an intensive session with mandalas and tarot to check different aspects of your personality, of your subconscious, of your wounds, and the healing process that you need to undergo. So these are beautiful cards which are in Spanish, but I can translate for you. So what else do we have? Because we have several. I love tarot, so there are always some new ones that we can add. So we already have these. Then we have the universe has your back. I love it. I don't use it specifically to do a reading, but after a reading we always pick one card to see. This is the back of the card. They are really beautiful. So after we finish the session, we finish the reading, we choose one card to see what the universe wants us to know, what message in general for our life we need to have. So we generally pick one of these cards at the end of the session, at the end of the reading, so that you know what the universe wants to tell you, and it's always very accurate. So it's good to pick one of these cards every day. I sometimes share the messages on Facebook. You can find me as Susannah Lorenzo or as Puentes Terapéuticos, which means therapeutic bridges. And then we have these beautiful cards. I love them. The messages are very powerful, very profound, and they are always very moving, you know. These are keepers of the light. So you have ascended masters, you have gods, all the beings of light, you have angels, and they are really beautiful. So they have a key phrase, then you have all the meaning of the card, and very spiritual messages that will help you connect with your divine guidance and with your angels and with the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. So they are really very powerful to work with them when you are going through difficult times, or when you are really lost, or when you think you've lost touch with your angels and your divine guidance. So you can use them, combining them with other decks, or you can have a full spread of life path just with the keepers of light, so that especially, for example, when you are beginning a new cycle, like now we are beginning here, the autumn is beginning here, or in the northern hemisphere spring is beginning. So when there is a new cycle, or it's your birthday, or you need to start something from zero, you know, from scrap, then you have like a life path spread, and it will give you like a complete, you know, view of what you have at hand, what you can do, what you can expect, and the different aspects of your spiritual self that you can work with. So here we are again, we are with the runes. So I had to check the pronunciation in English. It happens when you don't make a video in English for a long time. You get so rusty that suddenly you say, how was it? So these rooms, I made them myself. So my children helped me when they were younger. They helped me pick these little stones, pebbles. So I painted them, and they have all the Celtic symbols of the rooms. And they are very good when you are like, like if you have a stormy sea and you cannot read the maps, and suddenly you cannot see the horizon and you don't know where you are going. So they are really very good to check your maps, to check your compass, your spiritual compass. So they will help you connect with your inner wisdom, with your higher self, your guides, So these are the runes, which you can also combine with other oracles or cards. And then we have the two ones which people love, and they generally say, oh please, I want the Egyptian tarot or the tarot of Marseille, you say? Marseille, from Jodorowsky. I have the restored tarot from Jodorowsky and the Egyptian tarot. And I don't recommend them at the beginning. If this is the first time you are having a holistic session of holistic tarot, don't go with them. They are not bad, they are really very good. I love them. The meanings are really profound and deep, but they go directly to your shadow. They will show you what your subconscious is hiding and you don't want to see. So if we are going through some tough times like now, that we have this lockdown and we are in quarantine and we don't know anything for sure because everything changes, at least here in Argentina, every 2 weeks or every 1 week we have different laws and different restrictions, and we are not free to take a bus or to take a taxi. So when you are kind of lost, like we all feel now, humanity is like feeling lost at this time, and we are going through some deep, profound learning and teaching, and we have some changes. The planet is going through some changes, we are going through some changes, and we have to be open and ready. So, or even if you have some, very strong times, very tough times, very hard times, and you have some personal crises, so you have to be gentle with yourself. And these two decks are recommended when you are already feeling strong and you have already dealt with some of your emotional issues and with some of your subconscious messages, and you are already going through a process of evolution or healing. And then you can go to these decks and they will guide you directly to your shadow. They will give light to your shadow. This is very important because if you leave the shadow unattended and you don't take care of your wounds, then they will get larger and larger and wild, so you need to take care of the wild subconscious shadow that you have there. But you have to do that with love and with compassion and with respect, and you have to honor your wounds. So first you take care and you do some light therapies or some other sessions of holistic tarot, and then we go with this. So we have Egyptian tarot. I really love it. It's similar to the traditional tarot, but the cards are different and the messages are different, and these ones have like a poem for every card. I have the messages in Spanish, but the cards are in Spanish, but I can translate them for you. They are really very useful. You can combine it with some other deck or with some other oracle, or you can have a full session with Egyptian tarot to see what blockages you have inside and what hidden things are there in the corners of your heart which you haven't realized and which you need to deal with. So this is Egyptian tarot, and it will take you directly to your shadow. The shadow, as Jung says, is the subconscious, the unattended part of our subconscious, and it's like a wild monster which has never been cared, which has never been loved. So when you start honoring it and respecting it and loving it, it's wonderful to work with those parts, because then you realize that nothing is wrong outside. The problem is inside. The problem is our attitude. The problem is the way we deal with the situations, the way we act, the way we think, the way we feel. And then we have the Tarot of Marseille. Sorry, that was the booklet. So this is the traditional tarot, which everyone loves. Everybody loves this tarot, but most people think it is for forecasting. No, we do not do foretelling or forecasting. The approach of Alejandro Jodorowsky is very spiritual, and it helps you to connect with your soul, with your mission, with your essence, with your purpose in life. And it also helps you deal with your wounds, with your trauma, with your shadow, with to connect your subconscious mind with your conscious mind. And it really works to help you repair and mend and heal all the inner bridges. And then once you start healing your inner bridges, then you can deal with the bridges with other people, the relationships with other people. So you can have a long distance, you can have a virtual session by WhatsApp. It's very easy. You just reach me by WhatsApp. I will leave you the number here. Or you can reach me by email, or you can visit my website. My website is not in English yet because I have some economical issues, some financial issues, so I don't have internet on my computer. I'm doing this video on the computer, but then I will upload it to my mobile, and then I will upload it to my YouTube channel. It's kind of complicated, the logistics, but this is what we can do right now. So I cannot change the website and have it in English and Spanish, but there is some content, and there are some articles in English on my website which you can read, or you can read my blogs. I will also leave the details for my blogs here. My blogs have everything. They have posts in English and posts in Spanish, and I write a lot in English because sometimes inspiration comes in English. And then you can follow me on Facebook, Puentes Terapéuticos or Puentes Literarios, because I am also a writer and I also have books. I have books in Spanish and books in English. So if you want to book a session, you send a message by WhatsApp. Then you tell me your name, and I need to have a picture of you to see your energy and to work with your energy. And then I write down all your questions and all the necessary information and the decks and oracles you have chosen. And then I send you all the audio so that you can listen to them as many times as you want. Because if we do the session on WhatsApp and I don't record it, then it's a lot of information that you have to deal with, and people tend to forget. So I will record all the reading, the interpretation, the interpreting of the cards, and then I will share it with you. I will also share the images of the reading, of the spread, and I will also share some tools, some books, some guided meditations, which you can also find on my YouTube channel, or you can download from my website. There are guided meditations in English and in Spanish, which you can download from my website. So and you can pay, any way you want. So if you have any doubts, please let me know. And if you would like to have more videos in English, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel so that I start again, because I started doing some videos at the beginning, but then there were no followers, and I said, okay, there's no use, because you will see if you check my videos, there are some videos which are in Spanish and in English, because I do both languages at the same time. But now I've decided to do only Spanish and then only English because it is easier for people to choose what to see. So leave a comment and let me know what you would like to hear about. So I am a holistic therapist and I'm here to help you build, repair, mend and heal your bridges. It's a pleasure to be sharing this information for you, and I would be delighted to have a session with you. So please keep in touch and take care.